Hey, what is going on, road trippers? Road Trip Nate here, once again. Welcome back to the channel. As the captions at the top stated, we are doing the re-ranking of the Jurassic Park franchise. Now, I've recently found, scrolling through my YouTube videos, I haven't done a re-ranking since number 6 came out. So, I'm gonna talk a little bit about number 6 during the rankings and do a quick overview of the other 5. If y'all want to watch that video of my rankings of 1 through 5, it was from back in October of 2020, I believe. But I went more in depth back then than I will do now. But let's get in there and talk about the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World franchise 6 to 1. Re-ranking with a new movie. Hopefully there's not another new movie coming out. I'll tell you more about that. More about why I feel like that here in just a minute. But let's get started. Coming in, number 6. I don't even want to talk about this movie. Jurassic World Dominion. Jurassic World 3. Part 6 of this franchise. It was by far, in my opinion, turn the sound down a little bit, because I'm currently rewatching it, thinking maybe my taste buds have changed. But this movie, as I was rewatching my ranking video of 1 through 5, I'm like, I'm hoping I can place this new movie somewhere between Lost World and Fallen Kingdom. Oh, no. This movie goes below Part 3. I didn't think there would be a Jurassic Park movie that would go below number 3. But number 6, you had these prehistoric cicadas. You had the dinosaurs are now roaming around, you know, meshing with modern day society. You bring back the original characters, the original 3. Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum. You rely way too much on nostalgia. You know, you even have the dinosaurs are getting sent to this sanctuary. They're getting rounded up and getting sent to this sanctuary owned by Dodgson from the first movie. We finally see him again. The one that gave Dennis Nedry the Barbasol can on the first movie. Let's bring him back after 30 years. But the story was all over the place. What I didn't like was it relied way too much on nostalgia. People either loved this movie or they hated it. But that's just, in my opinion, is that I absolutely hated this movie. This movie didn't know what it wanted to be. You had Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard and their, I guess, adopted daughter Maisie, been living on the lam for a couple years. Blue has a child she didn't have to have a mate to have a child with. Maisie and Blue both get kidnapped to use their special blood. Maisie being a clone, and Blue's kid being a one-parent velociraptor. You get taken to all these different scenarios. The movie it goes in a million different directions. We get the original cast brought to this sanctuary in different ways. And Owen promises Blue that he would bring her child back. It's just, everything's just all over the map on this movie. For me, I'm not going to explain too much on Jurassic Park 3, because I'm not going to. But Jurassic Park 3 was a little bit better story. Jurassic World 3, Dominion, is by far the worst movie in the Jurassic Park franchise. I know some people think that it was better. Some people think it was worse. I myself think that it was the worst movie in the franchise. I don't want them to make another Jurassic Park movie after this movie. This was an absolute bombshell of a movie, in my opinion. But moving on. This is where we get back to the re-ranking of 5 to 1 that I did a few years ago. Now that I talked about the absolute dinger that Jurassic Park 6 was, Jurassic World 3, Dominion. So number 5, Jurassic Park 3. I know I've said it before. I just currently rewatched this video. Jurassic Park 3, in my opinion, should have just been a knockoff dinosaur movie. It should not have been a part of the Jurassic Park franchise. But because it was, we have to rank it. And it was an okay movie. It was a Taco Bell movie. I would compare it with probably, well, the movie I talked about last night, Cocaine Bear. Jurassic Park 3 is kind of just like that. It's a Taco Bell movie. But Jurassic Park 3, I mean, it was a good movie. Don't get me wrong. It just did not qualify as what should have been a Jurassic Park movie. But it was a good movie. It was a fun movie overall. You bring Sam Neill back, put him in all these different situations back on the island after he said he would never go back to the island. And then you put he's with this new cast of people, these tourists basically, that are trying to find their son. So this husband and wife couple that have been separated for a year, trying to find their son after their son goes parasailing with the mom's new boyfriend, and a band of mercenaries that don't make it past the first little bit of being on the island. And so now Sam Neill's trying to get off this island while this couple's trying to find their son. And you introduce this new dinosaur that InGen didn't tell anybody about, that they had created. The Spinosaurus, the original, which a Spinosaurus is a real dinosaur, but this was the original super dinosaur that was introduced in the Jurassic Park franchise. But it was a great movie. It was a fun movie, but it's not worse than 6 by any stretch of the imagination, in my opinion. But it's not better than the other 4. It is the B-rated. You've got the absolute just bombshell of a movie in Jurassic Park 6, and then you've got just the what should have been the B-rated Taco Bell movie. The other 4 movies on this list are great, but that's why Jurassic Park 3 is number 5. I can't count, apparently. Number 4, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Jurassic World number 2. Like I said, dinosaurs being shipped off the island. I felt like I've seen this before, but on a grander scale in this movie. The island that I have come to know and love as a kid, watching the first one in '93, is blowing up. So they're taking dinosaurs off the island, and they're saying that they're rehoming them in a new paradise, when really they're just being brought to the Lockwood estate to be auctioned off to the highest bidder. We see the remains of Jurassic World. You get as they're leaving the island, you see this brontosaurus just like doing what it did in the first movie, getting up on its hind legs, with smoke and everything. I actually cried in the theaters watching that, because I'm like, 25, I think it was more than 25 years of my childhood. It wasn't 30 years yet. It was like 27, 28 years of my childhood erased. You introduce Maisie Lockwood, who is a clone of Lockwood's daughter. He makes her think she's his granddaughter when she's actually the clone of his daughter who died in a car crash. And all these dinosaurs come to the Lockwood estate. They start having a auction, and they introduce the Indoraptor, which they created the Indoraptor off the Indominus Rex, which was introduced in Jurassic World. But Indoraptor breaks out, causes a whole bunch of chaos. They eventually kill the Indoraptor because Blue, the Velociraptor, helps Owen kill it. And while Blue's trying to escape her cage, previously in the movie, a whole bunch of carbon monoxide or some kind of gas ends up infiltrating the whole house. They either have a choice of killing the dinosaurs or letting them loose into society. Maisie releases the dinosaurs into society. But Fallen Kingdom is number 5. Number 4. The Lost World Jurassic Park. The Lost World Jurassic Park had a very different tone than the original. It was the perfect sequel to Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park was supposed to be this grand spectacle, dinosaur theme park. We're opening everything. We're gonna show the people of the world what our scientists can do. Show them live dinosaurs behind electric fences. Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World Jurassic Park, had a darker tone. It was a perfect sequel to, in my opinion, a perfect movie, because it was a lot darker. It had everything much more grown up. No fences. You send a bunch of hunters onto the island to capture dinosaurs, bring them onto the mainland. And while you also had people sent there by John Hammond to study. They were hoping to get there before the hunters got there, but they both ended up getting there at the same time. And it didn't end very well. They did bring a T-Rex back to the mainland, where the T-Rex caused chaos in San Diego, and Ian Malcolm, played by Jeff Goldblum, him and his girlfriend got the baby T-Rex that was in Jurassic Park's little amphitheater that they had in San Diego. And they had the T-Rex end up following them at the end of the movie, and ended up blocking the T-Rex in a ship and shipping it back. And John Hammond at the end of the movie, who had turned into a conservationist, said that the dinosaurs on that island required their absence to grow. But Jurassic Park 2 Lost World is number 3. Number 2, Jurassic World. It finally showed the park open. It was what they were trying to do in Jurassic Park. And it was, hang on just one second. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Human issues. But the park was actually open. Getting back to what I was saying when I had to leave. I can't pause the camera. But Jurassic World, the park was finally open. The director of operations, her nephews come and visit while their parents are going through this kind of divorce. And they end up getting lost because the Indominus Rex ends up breaking out of its holding cage. Owen Grady, who has trained raptors to follow human commands, which is cool. That they've actually shown on the movies that they can train raptors to follow human commands, and Owen is their pack leader. They go after the Indominus while trying to save Claire's nephews. Well, the Indominus is part raptor. So, I don't think the raptors turned against Owen. I think they were looking at him because they had all these videos. The raptors were looking at Owen. Pack leader, what do we do? That's what I think, in my opinion. But then the raptors start getting killed off because everybody thinks the raptors have turned. That's just my conspiracy theory. But Rexy, the original T-Rex from the first movie, and Blue go up against, in the final showdown, against the Indominus Rex. And they lead the Indominus Rex to the Mosasaurus. And the Mosasaurus ends up eating the Indominus. But to see the park actually open, and to see, you know, kids running around, people having, you know, cocktails at Jimmy Buffett's Bar and Grill on the island, it was a good time. It was a fun movie, but it's number 2. Number 1, Jurassic Park. In my opinion, the best movie of all time. Like I said in my previous video from almost 3 years ago, I saw the trailer for this movie when I was 3 years old. I went and watched this movie with my grandparents when I was 4 in June of 1993. This is of my generation, this is the Star Wars, Jaws, Alien movie of a generation. This is a generational movie. And I went and saw it in theaters. It scared the hell out of me as a 4-year-old. A little story to tell about the original Jurassic Park. My grandparents took me to go see this movie. My grandpa tells me, alright, if you get scared, just, cover your eyes and just start shaking your legs. He looks over, and I'm doing that. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm covering my eyes and shaking my legs. It's the commercials. Yeah, that actually happened. But back to the movie. I have seen this movie, no lie, over 1,000 times. The only movie I can ever say that about. The movie was perfect. It had never been done before. It was a idea that was revolutionary. Being in the process of opening a dinosaur theme park. Somebody steals everything. Somebody steals the embryos, shuts the power off. Power goes out. They're stuck on an island with dinosaurs. And our heroes are a couple miles away. Tim, Lex, Alan Grant, they're stuck a couple miles away from the visitor center from everybody else who can get them help to try to get the power turned back on. Meanwhile, the people that are at the visitor center have to go to one of the power stations to try to turn the power back on. So our heroes are in this fight for survival to try to get the power turned back on and try to get off the island while having a jungle full of dinosaurs that they don't know what century they're in. They just consider you food. And you have John Hammond, who he feels like a failure halfway through the movie because he failed everybody in Jurassic Park, and his grandkids are out there. So everybody's trying to do everything they can to try to get off this island. The storyline was great. The video, the way they filmed the movie, everything was great. It had never been done before. It was futuristic for its time. The filmmaking of this movie. So, but that's my ranking of tonight's video. The Jurassic Park, Jurassic World franchise, 6-1. Number 6, number 3, number 5, number 2, number 4, and number 1. That's going to do it for this home stream. If you're new here, please feel free to hit that subscribe button after the video and stay notified on all my current and future whereabouts. And if you like this video, give it that thumbs up. It lets me know you care. This is Road Trip Nate saying, let's get us 53 seconds left. Let's get us to 30 minutes on this video. I didn't want this video to, I explained a lot more than I did in my previous Jurassic Park ranking video, but let's get us to 30 minutes. It's been a pretty good home stream. But yeah, the Jurassic Park franchise, albeit with one doozy and a B-rated movie, it's been a pretty great franchise. Alright, we got 12 seconds. Currently watching Jurassic World Dominion, like I said. Bye, road trippers.